How are you, sir?
Well, I'm glad you changed the ratings just for tonight.
Just for curse all you want, sir. Whatever you need to do. What do you got? What is that?
I thought, I watch you put out books, and this is not my book.
You did not write this?
I did not write this.
Okay. But you are giving it to me.
I'm giving it to you.
Thank God. I really thought that you thought this was going to be so boring that you brought a book to read while we were talking. What is it?
So this book really drove not only my thinking, but how America taught the world to use chemotherapy.
Oh, really? This is the basis of a lot of your research?
It is.
And will I understand any of it?
You will.
I will?
You will.
And
so I'll ask you, do you know what a nude mouse is?
A nude mouse? I'm assuming it's a mouse with low morals. Aren't all mice? And again, my degree is not in biology, but I assumed that most mice were nude.
No. This is a nude mouse that the National Cancer Institute had to develop in order to understand how to develop the chemicals that poison you.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is amazing, and it gets to kind of what I want to talk to you about. You're a guy, you do this incredible cancer research, you make these breakthroughs in cancer treatment, you create these drugs, you create this empire. There can be no more heroic pursuit than the curing of cancer for people. Why then go buy a newspaper, which, as you know, gives people cancer? Why do it?
So when I bought it, Phil Anschutz, who were partners with the Lakers, said, I always thought you were a smart guy until today.
Of buying a newspaper? When did you buy it?
2018.
And did you have concerns that this was going to be the bane of your existence and cut into the time that you were using for these other pursuits?
No, because, look, maybe you understand why. I was born in South Africa.
Okay.
Until the age of 24, I'd never seen TV. My only education...
I'm just going to jump in right there. That's tragic. Not even basic cable.
No cable, no TV.
Imagine the jokes you missed.
And the country didn't have TV.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, for sure.
But you're about my age. You can't be much more than me.
I am.
60s? What are you, 70?
I'm 72.
Really? That's out of all the things I've done tonight, all the nonsense, that's the first time I heard them gasp. So there were no TVs, so you were really much more entertained by the written word.
The written word, the radio, newspapers.
Okay. So news meant a lot to you.
Oh, every day, because it really kept internally our freedom, right? Because we, the people then, were under apartheid. I lived under apartheid. The editors fought it. And that's how I got educated, and that's how I got inspired. So to me, by the time I was working on cancer, I was given 48 hours to buy this newspaper or not.
Why was there such a, what is it, like like the movie Speed? Like you have 55 miles an hour or the paper's going to blow up? Like why 48 hours?
So Michael Farrow had bought the Tribune at that point in time, and he knew how much I wanted to protect the newspaper in Los Angeles, and he called me on a Friday, and I was ironically having a conference with science doctors on cancer.
Right.
And he says, Patrick, Monday we're shutting down the DC bureau. We're shutting down Los Angeles, moving to Chicago. You've got 48 hours. If you want to buy it, it's $500 million. That's it.
You had to make a $500 million decision, take it or leave it, 48 hours.
You got it.
And was that a gut-wrenching decision? Was it a sleep-losing decision?
It was a decision that I had to talk to my wife about.
If I may, how'd that go?
Actually, because we both grew up in South Africa.
Oh, so she was invested in this as well?
Very much so. And we said, okay. But he said, no due diligence, you can't go to the newsroom, you don't know anything, 48 hours. So I brought the team in, they came over, and by Monday we bought the newspaper.
Now, were you concerned at all? So this is a huge undertaking.
Mm-hmm.
And this was early on. Did you look at other models? You know, did you think about what model of businessman, media owner you wanted to be? Did you want to go the Musk, like, I'll buy it and then kind of lose my mind and then, like, or was it more the Bezos, I'll buy it, but I have these other interests with the government that may, or was this more like the New York Times Sulzberger model, like, I'll buy it as kind of an heirloom as a family and we'll run this in a different way? What was the thinking for you?
Was, as I grew up in South Africa, the only thing that inspired me and kept me alive was the newspaper. So the opportunity for me, working on cancer and healing, hopefully curing cancer, is to have a place where the people, the voice of the people, truly the voice of the people, could be heard. So there was...
Now, is that... Were you ever worried that this other work that you're doing, which is so crucial, was going to be diminished by the time you had to spend? Was that ever a concern?
No, because we were deep. So that book...
No, I'm already through the nude mice chapters.
No, because by that time, so that was 1995, and he wrote that book 1992. So by 2018, I've already concluded, sadly, that people are suffering from chemotherapy. And we as Americans, and as America, has trained the world, together with Big Pharma, about chemotherapy because it's a money-making machine.
Chemotherapy?
Chemotherapy. Radiation chemotherapy, high-dose chemotherapy.
Now, is that because those technologies are... Here's where I want to be clear. Is it because those technologies are nascent and primitive when it comes to curing cancer? Because I hate to assign a sinister motive to something that I've seen in my own life help people that I love.
So let me give you the background to that.
Please.
So page 13, 14, 15, when you get there.
Literally page 13? So next fall.
Seriously, so in the 1940s, World War I and World War II, nitrogen gas from gas was used. So the first chemotherapy ever invented is 1946 on nitrogen mustard. And
so this was sort of an accident of they saw that mustard gas killed cells, but it also killed cancer, and so they utilized it. Is that how it...
That's exactly, but
okay.
It was under the thing called Chemical Warfare Services in the government then, 1940s, 1950s. That became the nucleus of an organization called Sloan Kettering, quite literally.
Oh, wow, okay.
In which they had to then figure out this thing called Taxol, how it would kill cancer.
But not kill...
the human being.
The balance of it so that it didn't kill the people. And this is why I guess chemotherapy makes people so ill oftentimes.
Right, except they forgot a universal truth.
Pa-pa-pa.
You and I, through evolution, and this is where the beauty of nature and the beauty of evolution, have in our body two things. A T cell, that everybody now knows.
T cell is the fights
cancer.
Virus or...
And correct.
Okay.
But another cell that's been around for 450 million years called the natural killer cell. Literally, that's the name.
They didn't call it that. Really? They just go, hey, look at this, what is that? I believe that's the natural killer cell.
It is.
Really?
That's the scientific
So
name.
what is that cell? That works alongside the T cell?
Correct. That's a cell that your body, in order for mammalians to survive, you came from a tadpole, wherever you came from.
How dare you, sir? My parents are from Bronx and Washington Heights.
450 million years of evolution, meaning that cell is the most important cell in your body in order to allow mammalians to literally survive. And it was only discovered in the 1990s.
Okay.
In 1970s.
Well, that postdates chemotherapy then, so
Correct.
they didn't know about this.
Correct. So in order to design these chemicals that were coming out, they needed to find a model in which you could put human tissue into the mouse. And guess what National Cancer Institute invented? the nude mouse.
That's the nude mouse is the natural killer cell.
No, the nude mouse is a mouse that has no T cells, no natural killer cells. So you could transplant into that mouse a human tissue and it would take, so that then you could put chemicals into that and see the tumor shrink. And they said, voila, we have the NCI panel of a model, and all these chemicals of chemo
will not be needed. Those will be seen as primitive at some day.
No, they would be seen then until today as the treatment of choice. So that drug, Taxol,
Yes.
was developed by Bristol Myers and the National Cancer Institute. In order to give it to women with breast cancer,
Okay.
it has to be dissolved in castor oil,
Castor oil.
intravenously injected castor oil. And women...
Now that seemed like a powerful statement, and yet I don't know why. When you said, you looked me in the eye and you went, it is injected in castor oil, and I went, huh.
And there's a black box, which we have in the FDA package insert called a black box.
Okay.
When you have the castor injected, women die from anaphylactic shock
From castor oil?
to this day.
So this will allow them to deliver chemotherapy without having to use this substrate that causes shock. Am I getting any of this right? Am I the dumbest person you've ever had to talk to?
So let me get it there. So this drug now was developed because it actually went into these nude mice and showed the tumor shrunk and everybody was happy. So we had to deliver it, and they delivered it in castor oil. And now then the standard is, let's look at the response with the tumor shrink.
Okay.
Forgot about something, however. As you give this Taxol or these chemotherapies, you wipe out your natural killer cells and T cells. The universal truth.
Which makes you susceptible to infection.
And cancer.
And cancer.
The only cell that actually surveys your body right now when we're in equilibrium is the natural killer cell to prevent us from getting cancer.
And that's the secret to the future of fighting cancer.
That is the secret. That is the universal truth. That we have in our body, through 450 million years of evolution,
Right.
a cell called the natural killer cell. God created that cell in order for us to survive. What has never
Okay, you just lost me. Square 450 million years with God. All right, forget about that. Listen. So here's where I get concerned.
Yeah.
This is so fascinating. Now that you have your own newspaper, are you worried that your motivations in the newspaper will, because I'm going to assume that you, because you have a company that also deals in biologics, that you want to get FDA approval for different forms of treatment that you're going to develop. And that is not impugning those treatments in any way. But why create this other Los Angeles Times where people can question whether or not decisions you make for the Los Angeles Times won't be influenced by things you want from the FDA controlled by the government? Doesn't that put you in a difficult position?
No, because in terms of the Times, there's this news reporting and there's editorial and voices, and I never discuss or present any of my stuff in the LA Times. I would go to the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, So
your paper wouldn't report on
my work.
Really?
Yes.
But wouldn't your paper,
but my paper
maybe offend the administration?
It may, and it probably does.
No, they're very resilient, this administration. Very, very thick-skinned.
Right. But it's important for the paper to have voices of all. And that's what I wanted to do, right? Whether you right, left, Democrat, Republican, you're an American. So the opportunity for us to provide a paper that is the voices of the people, truly the voices of the people. So I'm going to announce something with you tonight, is that...
More than the nude mouse, you're going to announce something?
That we're literally going to take LA Times public and allow it to be democratized and allow the public to be ownerships of this paper.
Wow. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So in that sense, will then the public will have a say on the board and on...
Right.
Fantastic.
Very much like the football team that just got public, if you remember.
Sure. Well, the Green Bay Packers, famously owned by a lot of the people.
Exactly.
And when does that take place?
We think over the next year. I'm working through with an organization that's putting that together right now. And
right.
And so the idea is...
And that can hopefully remove maybe some of those questions of where ethics get cloudy, would we say.
And really, ethics get cloudy if, in fact, the truth is not told.
Right.
So if in my mind, the opportunity for, look, our institutions today, everybody, there's so much distrust.
Sure.
Unless you have truth and trust, those two words,
right.
I think we're not going to have any healing in the country. So my goal...
Oh, that's for sure.
So if we can cure cancer and have people have the voice in the paper, I think we have at least... I live this American dream. I'm an immigrant here.
Right.
So to me, this is really a wonderful opportunity for us to have the privilege of being an American.
Well, by God, sir, I truly appreciate it. And I have to tell you, I wish you the best on this. I truly believe there may be no higher calling than I have seen this disease bring so much sadness and pain to so many people. And if there was a way through, and by the way, believe that all those doctors do it in good faith to try and bring the greatest relief to the greatest amount of people. And so I so appreciate that part of it, and I look forward to owning your paper.
I look forward to that as well.
Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong,